Here we are in Wolfeboro, New Hampshire, where I grew up. Stayed with a friend of mine. I am in his garage, a very well-used garage. It's got 4 kids, so plenty of stuff in here. And I am charging up the normal way. So we've got the motorcycle here, and we've got a 110 plug. Rode from Wolfeboro to Brattleboro, Vermont in the rain, and now I'm charging with 2 J plugs at 11 kilowatts. So this is awesome. There's plenty of food. Downtown is like right over there, so I'm gonna walk over, grab some food at a restaurant and warm up because it's in the low 60s and I'm soaking wet. So I got a long ride today. I'm a long way from home in Montclair, New Jersey, but I have now collected all of the New England states on this trip, so I'm gonna go get some food. Thanks. So the charging thing is still not as simple as we'd like it to be. I got here, both chargers started right up, everything worked perfectly, went to lunch, came back, and instead of being 100% charged, I was only 64% charged because my supercharger stopped charging partway through the session. I don't know why. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and it's going again, but now I have to hang out in a parking lot waiting for it to make sure that it doesn't cut out again. A little bit of adventures in charging. However, it is back to 11 kilowatts, which is super fast. It's faster than I even charged last summer, so that's good, but I guess I can't rely on it to just keep charging if I leave the bike. Had a much drier trip from Brattleboro, Vermont to Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'm on my way to New Haven and just need a little bit of a charge. I found 2 J plugs here. Notice this cord and this cord are both going to my motorcycle, charging me at 12 kilowatts. Awesome. Yeah, we call this Dub J charging. Dub for double, J for J1772 plug. Charging for charging ahead. It's been dry for the second leg of my trip. My feet are still soaked from the first leg of the trip, but everything's going well. So I'm enjoying riding through New England. Unfortunately, my camera doesn't work on my helmet, so I can't show you any of the beautiful scenery up here, but I'm enjoying it immensely. Another little trick to charging is that the battery readout while it's charging isn't always accurate. So for example, when I was in Brattleboro, the battery was reading that it was 80% charged, 80. And I thought something was going wrong and it should be higher than that. So, and I watched the charging power drop. It went to 6 kilowatts, then 5 kilowatts. Finally, I just decided, okay, well, this is acting kind of strange. I'm gonna go to the next place. I have plenty of charge, it'll be fine. I unplugged and then surprise, 100% charge. So sometimes that happens and that makes it a little hard to figure out when you're going to unplug because it doesn't always happen. Right now, I'm charging up using 2 J plugs, just like I did in Brattleboro, but now in Holyoke, it's saying that I'm 90% charged and I need to go 91 miles. So I'd like to make sure I have a little more charge than 90% to make sure I can get there. It's starting to power down a little bit. So I think I'll see a similar behavior, but not necessarily exactly the same. We'll see. My percentage for the battery says 95%. The charge has been dropping to about 5 kilowatts. So I'm gonna see if the charge jumps. So many wires. It'd be great if there weren't so many wires so I could just unplug and go, but I always have to stow some stuff. Turn the bike back on and it still says 95%. There you go. Okay, onward. Made it to Danbury, Connecticut, 95 miles, and what do I find? A BMW i3 charging on one of the spots that I needed. However, it was done charging, so I was able to unplug it. So a BMW i3 will lock the charger in there as long as it's charging, but as soon as it's done charging, it'll unlock so you can take it out. So I need to find some paper so I can write a note, say thanks a lot, I just needed to charge. If they're still here when I leave, I'm gonna plug them back in, and then that way they don't worry about it. So, yeah, getting 12 kilowatts of charging here. So the bike is showing 85% charge, but the charging is going way down, so I think it is done. So when I unplug it, it's gonna say 100%. No worries. Took about an hour here to charge 96%, so looking good. Had some Peruvian food, now it's time to go. I didn't go up Mount Washington, but I did go up Bear Mountain in New York. Having a good ride, charging up is going well, and it's a beautiful day. Look at this view. It's stunning. And yeah, so it was too rainy and cold to go up Mount Washington, but with this 2016 Zero SR, I have so much range that I had a few extra miles. I could go up the mountain just on a whim, and then still have plenty of range to go home. So now is the last bit of the journey, and I'll be home fairly soon. Well, there you have it. Wolfeboro, New Hampshire to Montclair, New Jersey during the day, and it's light out. So using 2 J plugs to charge, charging it between 10 and 13 kilowatts is the way to go. It's 7:50 p.m. right now. I left at about 7:50 a.m., so about 12 hours, but I took some detours. I went up Bear Mountain, and I also strayed rather far from my original path. I will list how many miles it actually was, but it was great. I basically rode for twice as long as I was charging. So when I first started taking these road trips on electric motorcycles, I was charging for twice as long as I was riding. So we've come a long way. So it's a great trip, and more to come this summer. So that was the New England trip, and then later I'm going to be heading down to Florida by way of the Blue Ridge Parkway and Tail the Dragon. So pumped about that.